Hi, and thank you for watching us here at Tax Talk UK, where we talk about all things tax and other important aspects of working for yourself. So, off the back of our video that we released recently on reclaiming your job expenses if you're an employee, we were asked if it's easier to use an agent, a repayment agent, to do this for you. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. Before I do, if I could please ask you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel. That way you can easily refer back to the information if you should need to, and also you will able to find more easily all of the other information that we have available for lots of important topics, which are all catalogued into playlists. So you find the playlist that's relevant to your circumstances, and then you can see what information that we have available in there. So that's all available on our channel. So please do take a moment to subscribe. So back to reclaiming your job expenses. So we gave the information recently on how to do this. It's very simple to do, and the circumstances that may mean that you are entitled to some tax relief for certain things that you pay for your job, and there's lots of different things that you may have to pay for that actually benefit your employer, not you. But your employer hasn't reimbursed you, and so therefore you are entitled to tax relief. And most industries have at least a set amount that you can be expected to be claiming. So everyone that is an employee should be claiming these things. But what we were asked was there's companies available that will do this for you, and should I just use that company? So they're called repayment agents, and the simple answer is proceed with caution. There's no reason why you shouldn't use an agent, a repayment agent, to do this for you. But I would say that it's very, very simple to do it yourself. If you can't navigate the forms that are required, a simple phone call to HMRC to say, I'm spending this amount on job expenses that my employer's not reimbursing me. Can you give me the tax relief, and can you backdate that as far as possible? Because I've been having it since X date. Then they will do that for you. HMRC are very helpful in that respect. The problem with using repayment agents is that they will take a cut of your rebate for their services, which that's completely understandable. Nobody but you is going to do that for nothing for you. So you will lose some of your rebate for something that's actually very easy to do yourself. You don't really need somebody else to do that for you. It's not complex in any way, like submitting a tax return or understanding your tax code. It's really very simple. It's just a case of HMRC simply need to know the expenses that you've incurred and when you've incurred them from, and they will do the rest. So you will lose some of your rebate. Another problem with this is that if at a later date HMRC inspect and find that they're not happy with the expenses that you've claimed, you will be responsible for repaying the tax rebate. But of course, you've already paid a percentage of it to the repayment agent, so you could actually end up being out of pocket if there's any problem, because much as you're asking somebody else to do it, you are still responsible for the fact that you are receiving those expenses and you're entitled to claim them, and you're not being reimbursed from your employer. So I would say in that scenario, that is another concern of having a repayment agent do that for you. The other thing is that sometimes they can be very sort of focused on this is the expense that we think in your industry you will be incurring, and they don't necessarily, they're not a tax agent the same way as as you would expect. Say, for example, somebody that you engage to your tax return, they're not necessarily looking at the whole picture. That's not what you're engaging them for. So it's not a criticism of them that they're not. But if they come to you and say, you know, actually we think in your employment you will probably entitled to this job expense tax relief, then it could be that you've got something else completely different, but they don't ask and you don't know to tell them. So I would say that the easiest way to get your tax relief is to simply to phone HMRC, and then going forward they can actually do that in your tax code, so you actually get the relief ongoing. So this issue of repayment agents and some of the downsides of using the repayment agent came to light, of course, during COVID. There was the work from home allowance that was available to a lot more people, became aware of being able to claim job expenses. So therefore a lot of people then were sort of questioning various factors, and it can also cause other sort of problems in your tax if it's not looked at in a holistic way. So as I say, it's not to say no, don't use a repayment agent, but it's just to say, please, if you do, proceed with caution, make sure that they look at everything, make sure that you clearly understand exactly how much of your rebate that they will be taking, and make sure that you are confident that they are only claiming expenses that you are entitled legitimately to claim, to ensure that you don't end up in the future having those recalled from HMRC and having already paid a percentage of it actually being out of pocket. So hopefully that explains and that helps you to understand that actually it is very simple to do yourself, but there is no actual reason at this point in time not to use a repayment agent. But if you are doing so, the things that you should think about. And HMRC are actually looking into this whole issue because, of course, if something gets caused some problems in people's tax, then that causes problems for HMRC. So they are presumably finding a lot of issues, hence that it is something they're looking into, and have released a consultation, which is where they ask lots of people to tell them what's happened to them, so that they can actually understand the issues from everybody's side, not just from their own side. So hopefully, as I say, that has helped. And thank you as always for watching. Please do subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Goodbye.